In this episode, our Jazz, aka race car, gets some well-deserved upgrades. So as some of you may have remembered, it was quite a few videos ago that we took our Honda Jazz race car to the track. It was heaps of fun taking it out there. It was completely stock when we took it out there, just some big wheels and tires, nice, semi-slick kind of tires on it. Performed really well, surprised me heaps, but there were some problems. And that was because we put the big wheels and tires on it, it was scrubbing when you really throw it into a corner. So today we're going to try and fix that by installing some coilovers all the way around, and while we're at it, we're going to install some new brakes as well, so just rotors and pads on the front. So obviously the braking performance should increase because everything on the car is just completely stock and not meant for a racetrack. So today we're going to install the suspension, the nice coilovers we've got, and brakes and rotors and all the shebang. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this kind of montage of us making the Jazz even more cool. So starting off with all these, I think we'll start with the coilovers. These are DGR. Now I did try and get some max speeding rods because they're a bit cheaper. They're probably not as good as these, but I guess I don't want to spend too much money on the Jazz. But the reason we didn't go for that was they actually don't even make max speeding rods for our Jazz. So we've gone with these. We could have gone for like BC Racing or some of the other brands, but the reason we went for these ones was there is a racing series locally to us, which is a little hot hatch kind of cup. And my thought was that's something I might want to do in the future. So we'll build our car to the specifications that they need in case we do want to go down that route. We don't have to change out some parts. So they use DGR coilovers and you have to use them. So we're going with these just in case, I guess, if we want to go down that route later, the car's set up for it. So jumping into it, I have opened this box previously. Now, the stuff is really nice. Now, it even has the instruction manual here, and there's a warranty card as well, which is pretty cool. But this thing as well, it comes with a lanyard, which I think is pretty cool, pretty neat. So put that aside. So we've gone a full coilover kit all around. Now the Jazz, so on the front, it's the, I guess you'd call it the McPherson style strut. So it's the, your typical coilover there. We haven't taken them out, but they look like they're very, very nice. You can see a little glimpse in there. Yeah. Very, very nice. Same in this one, it's come with these. Honestly, I don't think I've ever done coilovers, so I guess we're gonna figure out as we go. So these are obviously the little, what do you call it, C-spanners or whatever you wanna call it, to adjust the coilover. They've also got the little dials, I don't know if you can see that there, for the top to increase or I guess make it harder or softer in terms of the dampening. Then onto the rears. So the rears isn't it's kind of the, what do you call it? The shock and springs separate. So we've got this one here, and then we've got the spring as well. So we'll get onto doing that in a sec, but that's it for the coilovers. They look really good. I'm really impressed. So hopefully they feel much better. Now, in terms of the pads, so we got front brakes only. The rears are still drum brakes. We probably will get to it in the future, but to begin with, we're just going to do the front brakes. So in terms of, let's just open front brakes. We've gone with Project Mu brake pads. They, on the website, they said it's for kind of track kind of use, so we're going, yep, we'll try them. They look kind of cool. I don't know too much about Project Mu, Project U, something like that. They seem pretty good. I don't know. We'll see how they go. And then in terms of the rotors, we've just gone the classic DBA slotted, ventilated, all that kind of jazz. Yeah, something like that. It's got the ventilated, got the slots in it on both sides. So that should do much better than what is currently on it, which is probably 200 odd 1000 Ks old brakes. Probably not, but yeah, the ones on it's just the original on the Jazz, and obviously the Jazzes are meant to be a track weapon, so the brakes on it will be, well, these will be a lot better than what's on it. So we'll bring the car in and start with taking things off and installing the brakes and the coilovers. As you can see here, this is the old one, and then there's the new coilover. This one looks obviously much better. It also comes with a new, I think you call this the sway bar end link. So that's nice, because the old one obviously has some boots here and sometimes they get a bit bad, but they seem not too bad, to be honest. Now I think what we'll do in terms of the height and all that, we'll just copy it on here, because the front tires we've got on the Jazz is quite big, so we do want the height about the same as what it was, and then we'll just make it a bit stiffer and tighten up the front that way. So yeah, in terms of the height on the front, we'll just keep it the same. So we'll try and replicate that to match this one. So the coilovers are in, so is the brakes, and I'd like to say it looks so good, it's nice and stance, all that kind of stuff, but we didn't change the height or anything like that, so it looks the same as it did before. Reason being, obviously, is the wheels and tires are a lot bigger on the front and we're running into scrubbing issues, so didn't want to lower it too much. We just stiffened it up, so it feels a lot better now. In terms of I think we need to do a little more tweaks to the coilovers. I'm not quite happy with it. It is a little bouncy on the front, and on the rear it scrubs the tiniest bit. So we need to stiffen up the rear a little bit, or increase the height just a tad potentially. And on the front, I think just, I don't know, adjust the dampening or something like that, just so it's not as bouncy and stuff like that. But other than the coilovers, the brakes are in. The brakes feel amazing. Really, really happy with them. So yeah, Jazz is really good to go to the track pretty much, and I'm so keen to do it as well. Such a blast, and yeah, I can just imagine it's going to feel so good, I think. But hopefully you enjoyed this video and the montage of us installing it. Hit that like button if you'd like to see the Jazz at the track ripping it around. Comment down below and subscribe if you haven't. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video.